Coach, what's the biggest thing that you look at going into this tournament, especially the way you guys have been playing? I know, Coach, we talked several times. You got that game with Fairland there at the end of the year after the Valentine's Day shootout got out. What do you like about what your team's really done to come together, especially after you guys were under 500 there in the first half of the team? A lot of people had written you off.
Yeah, a lot of people had written us off, but I like that we're back to the toughness that we've been bringing the last 7 or 8 years. And defensively, we've really bought in that, we want to be the best defensive team in the region. And we're a little kind of like the old crew, though, of when we get there, we gotta lean on our defense as we know we're not going to put up 80. Hopefully we do, but I don't know.
Coach, we appreciate the time. We'll let you get out of here. We'll talk to you Monday night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mandy.
Mandy Lane joining us here in the 16th Region Preview Show. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll get the brackets for you. We'll continue to talk with some head coaches as we continue our coverage and getting you ready for the boys and girls 16th Region Tournament coming up next week over in Moorhead, presented by Clark's Puppet Shop here on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
For those on the go, the smoothie connoisseur, the break room favorite, and for those that just never quite have it all, Clark's has what you need to keep your day on track. Make life easier and keep your busy schedule moving forward with everything you need at Clark's. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Stop wishing you were debt-free. Start consolidating. Members Choice Credit Union is committed to helping you take control of your finances this new year. And all it takes is a personal loan. Imagine one monthly payment at a great interest rate. Stop worrying about debt. Start taking control of your finances. Consolidate your debt today with the help of your credit union family at Members Choice. Visit us online at mccu.net.
When you want real, authentic Mexican menu items, you want Reyes Hermanos Nunez. Accept no substitutes. None compares. Fajitas, tacos, burritos, quesadillas, chimichangas, even vegetarian choices. A kids menu, desserts, and salads. A tasty, budget-pleasing selection for you and your family, unlike any others. Should be your first and only choice for authentic Mexican all throughout the tri-state. Ashland, Greenup, Grayson, Paintsville, Canova, South Point, Olive Hill, and Cannonsburg. Reyes Hermanos Nunez, the best around. In addition to the Greenup location, Stultz Pharmacy's newest location is at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore, but has retained the name you know and love, McDonald Pharmacy, with the same great service you'll find in the Greenup location, with free delivery service and their convenient drive-thru. Get your vaccinations and allergy shots, and of course, great prescription service at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive, South Shore.
Stultz Pharmacy.
And back here in Moorhead and the Boys and Girls 16th Region Preview Show presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. James Collier, Coach Hager Lee Sterling, also now joined by Coach Matt Stokes from Brown County. Coach, you couldn't ask for a better draw, right?
I mean, if you wanted to draw it up, this is probably the way we wanted to go into this tournament. Challenge the girls early, and if they're going to win it, they've got to beat 3 of the best teams in the region to get there. So, I mean, yeah, why not? We don't want any days off.
Well,
that makes no sense.
You always hear coaches, they talk about it, said no matter what happens with the way your draw is, you have to beat somebody to get there. And obviously, you've got Ashland right out of the gate. You're on the same side of the bracket as Russell. But one thing about it, if you play yourself into the championship, you can't say that you slid yourself there.
Right. You've had to earn it. If you're getting to the finals, you have to earn it. But you look at our girls' region this year. We've got a lot of really, really good teams.
Yes.
I've been around and seen some girls' tournaments where there's 2 or 3 really good teams, and that's it. But this year we've got a lot of really good teams. So you're going to have to play, at least 2, if not 3 tough games just to get to the finals. So, we've got a tough road drawing Ashland first. I don't want to say anything about that pill bottle they use, Coach E. But,
he said he's going to get that in there.
Yeah, I had to get that dig in. But, when I played at Round County, we won districts all 4 years, and every year we drew Ashland. Jim Forrest probably can remind you of that. He used to do our radio shows, and we drew Ashland every single year when I was in high school. And so, it's kind of become the norm. We draw Ashland. We're on the same side as Russell. So we just kind of go ahead and pencil it in and get ready to start the tournament.
Coach, you've won 11 straight now. You haven't lost since you played Cal in the 2A championship. I know you got to be feeling good about your team. I think one of the biggest things people want to know, how healthy is Katie Chandler?
She got a few minutes the other night in our championship game. We got her in there for about 7 or 8 minutes. You know, of course, Katie's a competitor, so she was mad at me she didn't get to play more.
Of course.
You know, but I think she'll be ready to go. Of course, she's not going to be in basketball shape. You know,
Right.
of course, going on the big MSU floor and a whole lot bigger than our floor, that'll play a part of it. But if we can get her some minutes and get her going, you know, the way she shoots the basketball, you know, it'll be a big help for us. But, you know, we kind of went into this last year the same way. We were on a big roll. And, you know, we came out and laid a big goose egg last year. So we're gonna get to work tonight and make sure we're back focused and ready to go. Like all those other games that we've won don't really matter anymore.
That's
like
right.
This is a one and done. So let's get focused and pay attention to, you know, what we're doing. So I think us as coaches learned a lot from last year as well, and we've got to take that in and start with practice tonight.
Okay, absolutely.
Coach, always a pleasure. Best of luck. Looking forward. Couldn't ask for a better matchup to start the tournament off. I mean, you talk about a heavyweight battle right out of the gate, 6:30 Monday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, Ashland likes to get up and down the floor. We like to get up and down the floor. You know, we match up well with each other. They got a post player that we have a hard time with, but as far as guard play goes, and you know, having Woods and Sellers for them, it's going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoy the regional tournament because you get the best out of everybody, and you know, I'll enjoy it more if we can win games. But it's always a lot of fun, and having that as the first game of the year or first game of the tournament, you know, if you're not for Round or Ashland, either one, you need to come out, and it's going to be a really
Yes.
fun basketball.
It's going to be a fun environment for sure.
Fun.
Coach, we'll see you over there Monday night.
All right, thank you guys.
luck.
Matt Stokes joining us
Good
here.
luck, Matt.
We'll stay right here because we've got Ryan Bonner on deck as we'll flip over to the boys brackets. Again, we'll get the brackets out to you in just a few moments. Those have been posted over on Twitter, but we'll have the full bracket breakdown here in just a little bit. We want to get the coaches in and out because I know a lot of coaches are headed back to do practices and stuff. Coach, first off, thanks for joining us here. Morgan County right out of the gate, a tough draw, but what do you like about what your team and how you match up against Morgan?
Well, I got a chance to actually get out and go see them live in person last night. Went and watched them in their championship game against East Carter. Really like their team. I like the way they play with tempo. They shoot the ball well. I think they play hard. So it'll be a challenge for us. Didn't get the opportunity to play them this year, so it was good that I was able to get eyes on them last night.
Did you have like an epiphany, like I need to be in West Liberty? I just had this feeling this was going to draw like this.
Well, we knew that we gave our guys the evening off yesterday after the district finals, and we knew as a staff that it was important that we got out and scouted. And Coach Lemaster, our assistant coach, said, I think we need to be in West Liberty tonight. And I said, all right, I'm going to trust you. Let's go. And,
You need to make him go buy some lottery tickets.
Yeah, and I'm glad we did, and it was an enjoyable game. And they're a fun team to watch. They get up and down just like we do. They want to score early just like we do, which makes for an exciting brand of basketball and a great first-round matchup.
You look at as you talk about you've got comparable pieces. You've got the Griffith twins on Morgan. You've got Cam Adams there. You counter that on the backside. You've got Conway, Xander, Race. I mean, you've got the pieces. Tristan's in the mix there.
Yeah.
I mean, Asher's been really big for you guys this year. This one should be, I mean,
Between the two teams, it should be about 75 to 93
well,
field goal attempts.
I want to say, I want to put us behind the schedule right out of the gate. I mean, this has got overtime written all over it right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's a great matchup, and that's what you want in March. We're excited about it, and I'm sure they are too. And we're going to spend the rest of this day and the evening getting prepped up, and we'll get our guys prepared and moving forward, and really excited about it. Just glad to be here.
Coach, you've done a great job. You stepped into a tough spot over there, getting it so close to the season starting. But you've won 4 of your last 6, both losses to Boyd. Now, I know you won't, but kids are kids. How do you keep your team from not taking the mindset of, we can't wait to get back to the finals and get Boyd back for this? How do you keep them focused on the game at hand?
We've said from day one when I stepped into this role, we've said just focus on the next task that's in front of you. Don't look forward. Don't look behind. Focus on the next task that's in front of you. And that's the approach we're going to take here because, it's a tough draw and it'll be a tough road to get to that championship. But we're not going to think 2 games ahead. We're going to think of what is directly in front of us and what do we need to do to win that basketball game. And our kids have done a good job with that all year because of the schedule that we've played.
Right.
It hasn't really allowed us to really look ahead to the next opponent. We have to really focus on what's in front of us.
Well, he's taking my next question right here, Coach, because he says, it's hard not to look ahead, but as soon as we got the draw, we were already saying this. boy, what a matchup it would be. Ashland and Fleming County, Buddy Biggs against his old team. I mean, it's. I mean, you can't paint this any better than what it did. But again, like you said, you got to take care of business in the first round.
Absolutely. We're not concerned with anything at this point other than Morgan County and how we can best put ourselves in a position to win that game.
We're media. We're allowed to do
You're
that.
allowed to do that. I mean, that's what we get paid.
Yeah.
He can't do that. That's what they pay us to do, to make all these fun things up. But Coach, a heck of a start to the tournament with you guys in Morgan. We're certainly looking forward to seeing. We'll see you over the Moorhead.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Ryan Bonner joining us here on the show. All right, let's see. We're going to continue to roll in different coaches. Scott Tackett, let's bring him in. Now, you talk about an environment, Coach E, last night up in Vanceburg. This was a phenomenal basketball game to be a part of. 66-50. Lewis right out of the gate, a quick 5-0 run. And one of the things you said in pregame, you said, I usually won't say this, but they need to shoot and hit some threes. They went 1 of 16 in the win over Greenup County, and their first bucket was a 3 that went down. Coach, how big was that bucket going down last night?
Well, I told Coach E, at the end of the day, you got to make shots, because I think we defend well enough, and I think we rebound well enough. And our two issues throughout the year have been taking care of the basketball and making shots. I mean, we've had games where we made 10. We've had games where we made 1. And Coach knows that, if you make shots early, it just kind of energizes all aspects of your game. And I was really pleased with the way my guys were locked in last night.
It looks like you may still have some water left on you from the locker room last night, Coach. A very emotional speech after the game, but it was something you and I, we talked about after the game. It was the first time all season you felt like you're healthy and your team is really coming together. And your record is certainly not indicative of the team that you have going into the tournament.
It's hard. You take Xander Carter off of Ashland.
Oh, yeah.
You take Jacob Spurlock off the Boyd County squad and see how different they are. Trey Jericho's in that conversation, Yeah, he does a lot for our basketball team, and a lot of people wrote us off. I don't know if they really understood how good he was or that he was out or whatever, but he missed 13 games this year. He missed 12 with that heart issue, and then he had the stomach virus late against East Carter. So he missed 13 of our 31 games, or 30 games. And so getting him back, and he's just now hitting his stride, and it's no coincidence that, as he's gotten better, so have we.
Let's talk about your first-round matchup against Bath County, a team that you I think you match up nicely with. What do you like about your opportunities there against the Wildcats?
Well, I think we have an advantage inside, but they've got
Otis.
They've got the player of the year. He's such a handful. And, we had a good battle with them in the EKC tournament earlier in the year. They beat us 5 without Cherokee. But we know that another night we're going to have to make some shots because I'm 99.9% sure they're going to come out and zone us. So we're going to have to knock down a few shots.
Coach, I've been around a long time, obviously, and Lewis County used to be in the 62nd District. I've been to so many games down there where you touched on it already. You hit those first couple shots, and the Blue Crew that they're nicknamed, man, that energy just soared through that gym last night, and the kids just took off. If you can do that again in the first game of the region against Bath County, the crowd will do the same thing. And you're 9-18 in the regular season, but you're 2-0 in postseason. That's exactly all that matters.
That's exactly right, and that's one of the things I wrote on the board before Greenup County the other night. I wrote 0-0.
Yeah.
And you're right about the Blue Crew. That community loves their basketball, and you don't have to be great for them to follow you. They come out anyway. But when you start winning in the postseason, they really show out, and we're looking for a big crowd over here next Thursday.
You'll have it, I'm sure.
Coach, heck of a win last night. We're certainly looking forward to having you guys over at Moorhead. Best of luck. Enjoy the weekend, my man.
Appreciate you guys so much.
Thanks so much,
Thanks,
Coach.
Appreciate it. Good luck, buddy.
All right, we're waiting on Randy Anderson, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and hop into a break real quick. We'll take that break, and when we return, we've got a couple more coaches, and then we'll get into our picks and stuff and the brackets along the way. This is the Boys and Girls 16th Region Tournament Preview Show powered by Clark's Pump and Shop on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Home is where you hang your hat. And if you're looking for a newer, nicer home to hang your hat in, talk to the Commercial Bank of Grayson. You'll like our selection of fixed and adjustable rate mortgages and competitive rates. We also offer construction loans, auto loans, online and mobile banking, and many other services. Commercial Bank of Grayson, Grayson and Olive Hill, here for you for 125 years and counting. And you can hang your hat on that. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Wouldn't it be nice to start your day with a homemade breakfast and a freshly ground whole bean roasted cup of coffee? Well, at Tudor's Biscuit World, every day starts with freshly cracked eggs, sizzling bacon and sausage, And you can't forget the mouth-watering made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits hot from the oven. Whether you're spending it with us or taking it to go, mornings always sound this great at Tudor's. Sounds great, tastes better. Tudor's Biscuit World.
What do you look for in a pharmacy? Healthy Way Pharmacy always takes care of any prescription needs, but also has a wide variety of home medical equipment complete with delivery service. At Healthy Way, the wait is always shorter and the prices are usually less. Call 928-1001 for any questions. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday from 9 to 1. Healthy Way Pharmacy and Home Medical Supply, US 60 Cannonsburg, next to the KDMC Outreach Center and in Sandy Hook.
Primary Plus is celebrating 40 years of its mission of quality, advanced, affordable health care. With over 11 primary care locations throughout the region, Primary Plus believes in our communities and our patients. The Primary Plus name means primary care plus so much more, offering extended services such as women's health, pediatrics, dental, counseling, diabetes management, infusion services, and on-site pharmacy that offers free delivery. Primary Plus believes in connecting health care for you and your family and is always welcoming new patients. Learn more at primaryplus.net.
Back here at Morehead State University, Coach Hager Ishling and James Carr, happy to have you along with us here this morning on the Boys and Girls 16th Region Basketball Tournament Preview Show powered by Clark's Pump and Shop. Happy to be joined now by Coach Randy Anderson of Boyd County. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you. Boys, Scott Tackett, he's still hot from last night. These ear pads are, I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good and warm. And I would say, boys, that's the wrong angle for me, but I don't know if
that's
I
a good
change
angle
either
for
way.
you, Coach.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you've always got a good angle. I mean, we know which side to catch. We know the left side's the one we always want to capture.
Good from any direction.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about your team first off. Getting over the Schneid against Ashland in the regular season, there in Anderson Gymnasium. Then you guys get it back on your home floor for the district championship. How big do you feel like that win was in the regular season to get you back in that district championship as a winner?
It's huge. Let me start off by saying, boys, I'm just a very blessed man. I've got, and I know a lot of coaches will say that, but I truly in my heart, I've got really, really good kids. I've got kids that are committed and kids that love each other. Probably the best coaching staff, I feel like, in the state of Kentucky, if not in the United States. And so I'm very blessed, and I'm happy for them to like you say, get over the hump. And we've had a really tough schedule. We've had to play an awful lot of really good teams and battle all year long. And you do it with the thought in mind that if you're blessed and you can get to this point, you never take this point for granted, that hopefully something that they've learned over the course of this year, especially how to compete in a physical game. And, your shot's not going one night. Can you still grind it and that type of thing? And so for us to be able to win like we did the other night in just a great high school atmosphere and a very physical ball game, I hope it bids really, really well for us.
This was a game that was supposed to have been played there at the end of the regular season, and then the flooding issues that happened, and then didn't get a chance to get back after it. What do you look at East Carter that you see that poses a threat for you guys of what you like to do, especially in that run-and-gun type of offense that you like to get up and down the floor with?
Well, East Carter, when I think of East Carter, it goes clear back to Coach Charlie and then Brandon and now Cole. They're just tough kids. They're very physical. They play extremely hard. I feel like that they've really gotten better since day one. Even last night, even though they didn't like the score there at Morgan, just watching that, just very organized, and the kids seem to know their roles and what they can do. And so we're just hoping, that our kids take the scout and the film scout to heart and continue to be us and don't hear the noise of records or this and that, and come and be us and play. East Carter, they're going to bring it. They just really are. I say it all the time, 32 minutes in a regional tournament is a snap. And you best be ready from the time that thing is thrown up because it's done. And if you're not ready, even though you got media timeouts, there's not enough timeouts sometimes to stop it. And so that's our thought process right now. We take nothing for granted, and our kids have just got to be us.
Coach, you've really been pretty consistent all year long, right from the beginning. But you've won 14 out of your last 15 right now. It appears that you stepped it up. You're really playing your best basketball, which is what you want to do, obviously, this time of year.
I agree. You know, it all starts with the chemistry part of it, and our circle has just really, really gotten close, and the kids genuinely like each other and like spending time and competing together, and so just really, really proud of them, Coach. I can't. It's a pleasure to go to practice. You know what I'm saying? And it's a pleasure to get the uniforms out so they can pack those things and we can go play another one together. And so, just really, really pleased. You know, everybody wants to win, but there's winning on different levels. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like this circle has won in a lot of categories.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, we'll see you Thursday night, 8 p.m., the nightcap for day 4 of the tournament. Looking forward to our trip over to Moorhead this week, covering you guys and all the teams that's in the event. Should be a fun week.
Okay, neon pink.
Neon pink
Yes,
for
sir.
Thursday night.
Yes, sir.
It's marked down.
Yes, sir.
I'll
Good
walk.
luck, Coach.
Bring the
Always-
sunglasses.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
Coach
Thank you.
Randy Anderson joining us here.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, let's see. I think we got Derek Cooksey sliding in here next. And, Coach, you look at the bracket here. You look at Russell and Fleming County. That's going to be a war right out of the gate. You know, Buddy Biggs is his team is a very solid opponent, and you know Derek and their crew they've had a heck of a run. They ran into a night last night where the ball just simply did not want to go through the hoop, and Lewis County was able to get that crowd behind them. And I know I talked with Derek after the game last night, and he said that was one thing they got the crowd going, and that really got them amped up.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Coach, let's talk about last night. Again, not what you wanted, obviously, but what do you take away from a game like that going in now to a win-or-go-home environment?
Well, it's tournament basketball. Lewis County has went through a lot of adversity this year. They ride the ship. They had kids step up in the season. I think Trey played like 13 games, and that was the one thing coming to the game. We knew we had to do a good job on him. The last 2 or 3 games, he'd scored 20-plus points, and early on, we were just trying to basically be solid, and hats off to them. They hit some shots. They hit 2 big shots. It's 5-0, and the crowd got involved, like you said. And we called timeout and told our kids, I said, we're going to go down a few more possessions. And it just seemed like we never got into a flow, especially early. And that's one of the reasons that we kind of resorted to pressure. We threw various pressure at them. I thought we had some success. We probably had some opportunities to kind of convert off those before half. And it's a 10-point game at half. And once again, in the halftime, we just kind of came up with goals. In the third, we got to be at 5 or 6 points. Once again, I thought our pressure in the second half kind of wore them down. We just couldn't take advantage of those opportunities. And, you know, Lewis County, hats off to them. They hit some big shots. They got some stops. We cut it to 4, had some point-blank looks, but just couldn't do it. And I think our kids' take from that is you have to be prepared. You have to be ready mentally. We've got a lot of kids, you know, not to make excuses, but we had 1 returning starter this year. So a lot of kids have stepped up, and they have not played in those type of environments, especially in tournament time. So I think that, you know, our kids have always bounced back. We expect them, you know, we're going to have 3 or 4 days of really good practice and get prepared. And we know who the opponent is now, so our kids can get mentally focused.
There were several times in the ballgame, especially there in the second half, where you guys would make a run. You'd get it to 6. You got it to 4. And there was always something that happened on the other side. A foul, a costly foul that turned a possession into a 4-point swing and just never could find a way to get over the hump.
Yeah, I mean, I look back. You know, it's not one particular play. Missed a couple easy shots. I thought we didn't necessarily box out very well. Down the stretch, I think we gave up 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. Those are huge during tournament time. I think they converted 1 for an and 1. So, you know, our kids just have to understand that we were probably mentally tired because a lot of times, you know, we haven't traditionally pressed a lot. We've done it periodically throughout the season, and you know, they exerted a lot of energy. And that's one thing I'm proud of my kids because the effort was there. We just had to basically take advantage of some of those opportunities, and the ball didn't bounce our way. So like I told our kids last night, you know, it hurts. We had goals in mind, and that was one of the goals. But the reality is we get to live and play another day. We have an opportunity next week. And, you know, as far as we're concerned, everybody's 0-0. And, you know, we got a 3-game stretch, hopefully, and let the ball lay where it is.
Coach, you haven't lost often, just 5 times during the season. But every time that you have lost, your kids have responded with the next game with a win, with a good comeback. And I know you're looking for that next week.
Well, and I've told people this. I'm proud of these kids because, once again, coming into the season, there's a lot of question marks, you know, with our team, you know, as far as who's going to step up. And we lost 80-some% of our scoring. And you're right. They've been very resilient. We've been the epitome of team. Of all teams I've been around as a player or coach, they've embraced that. It makes no difference. Like last night, they know we can play better. But you got to tip the cap and give credit to Lewis. And we just learn from it. We get back to work and don't make excuses. And like I said, Fleming's a good basketball team. They're very well coached. I'm very familiar with Coach Biggs. We had a lot of battles in the 64th over the years. Have a lot of respect for him. his kids, you know, they're a good basketball team. So we're going to have to play exceptionally well, but at the same time, we have an opportunity to do something.
How much are you going to go back on that game that you guys played in the regular season? It was early in the year, first part of the month, first month of December. But what do you take away from that game that you feel like maybe you can do a little better with this time, or what's some stuff that you feel like maybe you can pick up from Fleming?
Well, I felt like during that time of the season, we'd had a lot of success early. We kind of got out of the gate really well. We're able to win the EKC. We had a lot of stretch of games. I think it was 5 games in 7 days, I think. That was a tough environment going on the road, hour and 40 minutes, and I thought we played pretty well early on, and then in the second half they kind of wore us down. So the biggest thing that our kids take from that is I thought that was one of the like Coach said, we responded from that, and it kind of started our string of victories in the season. Our kids understand that you got to be prepared, and our staff does a great job. Our kids really buy in. You really got to be focused, and you got to basically play that game that's ahead of you. So. Obviously we'll look back at that, but I think both teams have progressed and changed and improved for the most part. So we just got to, like I said, we got to get focused in. We'll start back tomorrow. Our kids will rest today, get some shots up, and tomorrow we'll get focused in on Fleming, and I think our kids will respond.
Good luck, man. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Coach Derek Cooksey, always a pleasure, my man.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, let's step aside for a break. When we return, we'll dig into the brackets. We'll preview all of the matchups. We'll make our picks as we get you set for the boys and girls 16th Region Tournament beginning Monday over at Morehead State. This is the boys and girls 16th Region Tournament preview show on the Cool Hit Sports Network, powered by Clark Company.
When you need to say happy birthday, get well, thinking of you, or any other special occasion, say it with flowers from Fields Flower Shop in Ashland and Grayson. Fields Flower Shop can also take care of your sympathy needs, and they carry a nice selection of silk flowers, balloons, and fruit baskets. And they have provided quality service since 1920. Call 606-324-2184. That's 606-324-2184. Fields Flower Shop in Ashland and Grayson.
Good eating awaits you at the Hog's Trough Barbecue Restaurant and Bar in Grayson, featuring slow smoked chopped barbecue pork, brisket, chicken, beef, and more. Hog's Trough, 1051 North State Route 7, Grayson. Call 606-474-PORK.
The Tri-State's best gun and ammunition store. The best fishing and archery departments in the Tri-State. The largest selection of Benchmade and case knives. And the largest selection of Liberty safes anywhere. And the area's largest turkey shotgun selection. Get ready for turkey and fishing season at Borders Sporting Goods, the best sporting goods shop around. US 60 West, Ashland.
Your Country Chevrolet in Grayson needs your vehicle. We're low on inventory and prepared to make you an offer on the spot to buy your car, even if you don't buy one of ours. Literally within 10 minutes of coming in, we'll have you a cash offer. Have a payoff on it? No problem. We'll pay that loan off and write you a check for the balance. Just bring your title, driver's license, all your keys, and most recent payment statement so we can get the payoff. We'll even drive you home if you need. Your Country Chevrolet, ready to buy. Let us put cash in your pocket. Visit us online, purecountrychevrolet.com, or call us 606-474-5116. Pure Country Chevrolet. Find new roads.
I'm April Perry, the CEO of Kentucky Farmers Bank. On average, our employees have been with Kentucky Farmers Bank for over 10 years, and that is important to you and us. We want you to know who you are dealing with. Whether you are financing a new home, buying a car, or remodeling your kitchen, Kentucky Farmers Bank is the better bank for all your needs.
Kentucky Farmers Bank, the better bank for all your financial needs since 1931. Located in Ashland, Summit, and Catlettsburg. KentuckyFarmersBank.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road Greenup has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's prices. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup at 473-0411 for a free estimate. A call to 473-0411 can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
For those on the go, the smoothie connoisseur, the break room favorite, and for those that just never quite have it all, Clark's has what you need to keep your day on track. Make life easier and keep your busy schedule moving forward with everything you need at Clark's. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Region Boys and Girls Tournament Preview Show powered by Clark's Pump and Shop. We've talked with the coaches. Now it's time to get into the bracket. So let's do that first. Let's jump in and take a look at the girls bracket as we start on Monday, February the 27th. Right out of the gate, Rowan County 24-7, Ashland 22-7. That's the 6:30 game at 8 p.m. 21-11, Russell faces off against 10-18 Elliott County. On Tuesday night at 6:30, 17-15 Morgan County, 15-16 Fleming, and the nightcap 19-9 Boyd County, 22-9 Lewis County. Jim, you look at the bracket here, and we see probably what you could almost tout as a championship game. Very first game right out of the gate there, that 6:30 game with Round and Ashland.
Well, it very well could be the best game of the tournament. I mean, not necessarily, but it could be. Two great teams, and we were all talking before the draw even happened, before the meeting even started, that three could end up in the same bracket, and somebody of the top four, and I think everybody realized that Ashland, Boyd, Russell, and Round were the top four in the girls, and three of them could end up in the same bracket, and one of them end up in the bottom or top by themselves, and that's exactly what happened. And Boyd County, they're the ones that end up really with a much easier road to get to the championship game. And you look at that top bracket, three of the top four are there, and two of them play each other to start the tournament. You couldn't ask for a better game to start the tournament, Hager, than Rowan Ashland.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody was going to get Ashland first game.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the district winners, that was going to be their reward, was going to draw one of the top four teams. And you're right. I think the winner comes out of those, probably that group of four. They beat up on each other all year long. And the thing about it is, Round County and Ashland, whoever wins that game, they're probably going to have to beat three of the other top four to win the tournament. So,
yeah, you look at it on paper. Elliott County is obviously a heavy underdog against Russell, who is playing a phenomenal type of basketball right now. They were under 500 early in the season. They got absolutely throttled by Cooper right before the turn of the new year, and then turned around 2 days later and just about beat Round County by 30. So it's an intriguing style of game that's being played right there, and you certainly have to think that Russell, if they take care of business the way they certainly did against Lewis County in the district championship on the 63rd, they're going to be well rested, probably fresher than what you're going to see when you get Round County and Ashland coming out of that one. That should set up to be a war.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a toss-up in that first game, and we'll get to our picks a little bit later on, but that first game is going to be an exciting way to start. And Kent, Russell, Elliott, Russell's going to be the heavy favorite in that ball game.
I think you're exactly right, Russell, just with what they have, what Mandy has on her bench, considering what Elliott County had. I had an Elliott County girls game this year, and they get after it. They play hard, but they just don't have the talent. I think the depth that Mandy has.
I think the depth is the biggest thing there, is that they're really going to struggle with.
Mandy
because
can look down her bench and throw in seventh graders if she has to, but you've got Russell probably moving on, and then right now you're still looking at that first one, guys, Round and Ashland. I agree with Jim. That's a championship game right there.
Kenley Woods and Haven Ford, that's two of your better point guards that you're going to see in the region. That's state caliber. Haven Ford, obviously a Miss Basketball candidate, and rightfully so, but it's one of those things when you look at Haven Ford, you go in and you have to think Stacey Davis has to go in understanding I have to keep her to under 30. Yeah. And I think at under 30 you feel confident about that. But on the backside of that, and you talk with Coach Stokes about this, I think the kind of the X factor with Round, what can he get out of Katie Chandler?
Exactly. Yeah, I think they played early in the year, and Round County beat Ashland in overtime by 4 at Ashland.
It was a back and forth battle too.
Yeah, it was. And Chandler, I think you're right, James. It is such a big key. She's had back problems for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm not sure that Round County, they might win that game. I'm not sure they can win the whole thing without significant contributions from her.
Yeah, because she is definitely the for lack of a better term, she's the Robin to Batman.
Exactly.
And Haven Ford's Batman.
And that's one of the things that I think when we talk about games like Round Ashland being two of the top 4 teams playing right off the bat, I think one of the things that when a lot of people look at the brackets, what they don't realize, they say, well, I like so-and-so, I think they can. But can a team win 3 in a row?
Mm-hmm.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You can beat somebody on a given night, but can you sustain that for 2 more? And especially whoever comes out of that game has to play probably one of the other best teams of top 4, and then another top 4 team probably. if you're in that game, if you're around Ashland and you win the whole thing, you deserve it.
I talked with Pete Fraley a couple of weeks ago, and it was one of the things we were talking about was the tournament. And he said he remembers the days back when he coached with Rogers Orange. And he told him, he said, when you get to the region, he said, you got to beat somebody, you got to get a break, and you got to beat somebody that you wasn't supposed to beat. And he said that's the way it has to line up for you to come out of there as a region champion. And obviously they're the region champions coming in, defending, hoping to defend their crown. And he said, it's hard enough to win one. Doing it back-to-back makes it even more difficult.
Absolutely.
All right, let's look at the bracket again. Let's take a look at the bottom half of the bracket. These are Tuesday games. We'll start first at 6:30. The champions of the 62nd, Morgan County 17 and 15. Fleming County, depending on how you look at it, maybe an upset over Menifee County as the runners-up in the 61st. Then the 8 o'clock game, Boyd County 19 and 9. The champions are the 64th. Lewis County 22 and 9 out of the 63rd. And Spencer, you look at that bottom half of the bracket, Boyd County, Lewis County. Lewis, I talked with Jay Fine after the game the other night, and he said they were just absolutely shell-shocked, and he put it in perspective. He said some nights you get punched in the mouth, some nights you get your jaw broken, and they got their jaw broken in about the first 50 seconds of that ball game.
They sure did. And as I look at the whole bracket as a whole, guys, this tournament right here, this girls' side of the tournament has me more excited in a long time, especially the way you guys were talking, the top half of the bracket. Yes, they may have the top 3 teams in there or 3 of the top 4 anyways, but you look down here and you see, Boyd County, they walked out of this meeting feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially with the draw they got. That's how upsets are made.
Yes.
That's exactly how they're made. And
they did not play Lewis in the regular season, so they've not seen each other.
Right, and I'm glad you said that. That's something that I'll go to when we go into the boys' side. Boyd County's boys is going to play a team they didn't play in the regular season, also in the first game. But you look at Morgan, you look at Fleming, you look at Lewis County. Those are teams that are not here for no reason. Boyd County's going to be challenged a little bit, but it's harder, especially if I'm not saying that it's harder to play against these teams, but trying to look down the road. Trying to prevent your team from looking down the road and saying, okay, we got a challenge in front of us, let's take care of it, and we'll move on. That's kind of the thorn that good teams face a lot. So it'd be interesting to see. I'll be honest with you guys, as a media member, this is the best bracket we could have gotten.
I tend to agree with you to a certain extent, then I tend to disagree a little bit. I think that's probably a true statement, and here's a coach who will tell you, if you look at a bracket and you're overwhelmingly the favorite to come out of that bracket, like Boyd County is, overwhelmingly.
As a defending champion, too.
As a defending champion. Yeah, you might have a tendency to say they're going to look past some of these people and it's going to be tough, but not when you have a seasoned coach like Pete Fraley.
Absolutely.
Not if you had a coach like Hager Easterling or a coach that's been there for a long time. They're not going to let that happen. Okay, and I think that's the case. That's the only reason I would disagree with that. I think if it was somebody who hadn't been coaching that long, and even if they were the defending champs, they would look at it and say, oh, this is going to be easy. I don't think Pete's going to let that happen.
Hey, Coach, one of the things you look at when you put those two teams together, we're talking to Boyd and Lewis, you've got somebody that can go down inside and can bang around with Jasmine Jordan because you've got a Sarah Page Weddington on the other side. You've got a Liv Campbell up top that can go after Emily Neese or Taylor Barntram. The biggest contributing factor is what is Maddie Johnson going to be able to do? What's Caitlin Arnold going to be able to do? What's Carrie Ann Highfield going to be able to do? Because you've still got the other part of the two from either Bartram or Neese up top. And then don't forget you got Audrey Biggs that just came back on a remarkable recovery from an ACL.
Absolutely. And, one thing about girls, guys, they're different. When girls get beat like Lewis County did the other night, 58-17, they're embarrassed. Boys bounce back from that a little easier. Now, Jay's got to get those girls back ready to play, and one of the top teams in the region, obviously. I think if you said right now that the final score is going to be in the 40s, Jay'd be tickled to death because
that's the style of game he wants.
Pete's going to want it in the 70s and 80s, so that's definitely going to be a game of tempo there.
One thing we want to pass along with the girls' bracket, Coach, you and I, we talked about this earlier in the week. This is the first time in the history that there has not been a portion of either an East or West Carter in the field at all. And they started playing basketball in the 74-75 season. Never happened. And that's something to – it's kind of, you've Morgan County and Derek Young, what he's done up there, he's really got the girls playing well. Jenna Hampton, over 2,000 points. She is the catalyst with this team. And you see what they can do. They've got the potential there. Certainly, I think, a more talented group than the record may show.
Yeah, I think so. Morgan County and Fleming played early in the year, and Morgan won by 13, but that was at Morgan. You were talking about Fleming and Menifee. Menifee beat them by 2 at Fleming early in the year. Fleming goes back to Menifee and beats them by 17. So it really wasn't surprising they beat them in the district. And Fleming, guys, if you go back and look at their scores, their games, they're playing really well the last 8 or 10 games.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a really good.
I do too.
Good ball.
Yeah, I
a
think
good
so too.
matchup. Could go either way. Whoever probably turns the ball over the most or gets in foul trouble or all those little cliches that we use all the time, those things are going to be really important in that game.
Absolutely.
Because it could go either way.
All right, let's take a break. When we return, we'll jump over to the boys' side of things. We'll look at the brackets and preview the matchups coming up. They have games that play on Wednesday and Thursday. That's as we continue. Here are the boys and girls 16th Region Tournament Preview Show powered by Clark's Pump and Shop on the Corvid Sports Network.
Are you having trouble keeping your parking lot lit? Is customer safety one of your top priorities? If so, call River Cities Builders at 473-4112 for all your lighting needs. We have bucket truck and boom crane truck services. We have extensive experience in exterior lighting and parking lot lighting maintenance. No need to ever be in the dark again. Remember, call River Cities Builders at 473-4112 for all your lighting needs. We will light your path to success.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
Russell knows we practice our fast and friendly service around the clock.
Raceland knows that First and Peoples Bank has been safe and secure for over 77 years.
Greenup County knows that First and Peoples is perfect at serving the families in our community.
We are great at hometown banking.
Yes, Greg, of course we are. We are the home office.
When you want real, authentic Mexican menu items, you want Tres Hermanos Nunez. Accept no substitutes. None compares. Fajitas, tacos, burritos, quesadillas, chimichangas, even vegetarian choices. A kids menu, desserts, and salads. A tasty, budget-pleasing selection for you and your family, unlike any others. Should be your first and only choice for authentic Mexican all throughout the tri-state. Ashland, Greenup, Grayson, Paintsville, Canova, South Point, Olive Hill, and Cannonsburg. Tres Hermanos Nunez, the best around. In addition to the Greenup location, Stultz Pharmacy's newest location is at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore, but has retained the name you know and love, McDonald Pharmacy, with the same great service you'll find in the Greenup location, with free delivery service and their convenient drive-thru. Get your vaccinations and allergy shots, and of course, great prescription service at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive, South Shore.
Stultz Pharmacy.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road Greenup has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's prices. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup at 473-0411 for a free estimate. A call to 473-0411 can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road Greenup.
For those on the go, the smoothie connoisseur, the break room favorite, and for those that just never quite have it all, Clark's has what you need to keep your day on track. Make life easier and keep your busy schedule moving forward with everything you need at Clark's. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Back here at Morehead State on the Boys and Girls 16th Region Tournament Preview Show, powered by Clark's Pump and Shop. James Collier joined with Jim Forrest, Coach Hager Easterling, Spencer Hutchison, Kent Robinson. Let's look at the boys bracket. We'll set the field, and then we'll start previewing the matchups. These games start on Wednesday at 6:30, Morgan County and Ashland, followed by Fleming County and Russell at 8 p.m. In the bottom half of the bracket on Thursday, Lewis County and Bath County at 6:30. And then at 8 p.m., it's Boyd County and East Carter. And, Jim, we look at the top half of the bracket, Morgan County, Ashland. We talked with Coach Ryan Bonner. Two teams that really like to get it up and down the floor, jack up the threes. This is a game that a war of attrition. You're going to find out the conditioning of your team with a 94-foot floor real quickly.
Yeah, I think so. But let's just be honest and talk about the boys coming into it. First of all, I mean the top two teams have to be Ashland and Boyd County. You knew they were going to draw opposite brackets, so there's a chance that they would meet for the championship game. And when you look at the way the pairings shape up after the draw, Morgan County and Ashland should be a good game because they both like to run. Mm-hmm. But if Ashland gets past Morgan, then they got Fleming or Russell. Russell would probably be one of the top four teams in the boys, if you're looking at it. Fleming the other one probably. Mm-hmm. But they have to play each other. So Fleming and Russell's playing each other.
The boys bracket sets up a lot like what happened with the girls. You have three of the top four teams, I think that we would agree in the region, that they're sitting there in that same bracket with Ashland, Fleming, and Russell. Mm-hmm. And you look at on the bottom side of that, take nothing away from anybody else, but Boyd County, much like what happened in the girls' draw, they've got to like their draw.
They have to. I mean, Coach Randy Anderson has to be ecstatic, and I agree with Hager. I mean, I think if I'm playing the lottery or if I'm going to Vegas, I'm taking Pete Fraley with me, or I'm asking what numbers to pick at the lottery because, hey, every year it seems like they get a really good draw.
Yeah.
He likes that pill bottle, don't he?
Yeah, Coach E brings the pill bottle back out for the draw this year.
I don't think it made any difference for Boyd, though.
No.
I mean, they get a good draw.
Ping pong balls, pills, whatever, it doesn't matter.
But they got a good team, too.
Matt Stokes had blamed it on me, so on the air, by the way. So
well, Matt knows better because Matt probably, I think he said on the air too. When he was playing, Rowland always drew Ashland.
Yeah,
and I was doing those games back then, and he's absolutely right. They seem to always. And now he's coaching. Now he draws Ashland.
Now I will say this so that it is out there and documented. Scott Tackett owes me lunch because he told me last night. He said, and we shook on. He said we're going to draw Ashland, and I said, all right. I said I'll take that. I'll take that offer. And but Lewis drawing Bath. They played earlier in the year in the EKC tournament. That was a great basketball game. Yeah. No Trey Jerky in that basketball game. Mm-hmm. And you look at the difference of this team. I know, Coach, I think you mentioned it last night with Trey Jerky down the stretch, 6-2, and more importantly, 2-0 in the postseason.
Yeah, he just controls the game for them, guys. He's so many different ways. If Lewis County has the ball, say in a 32-minute game, if Lewis County has the ball for 18 minutes, he probably has the ball in his hand for 17 of them. So, but I'm like Jim on that first game. I think Morgan and Ashland will be a fun game to watch. Not sure how close it's going to be. Morgan's just they're not a good rebounding team, and it's going to be tough for them to hang with Ashland.
And we talked about that coming over this morning because, we were looking at the score from East Carter last night. It was a little bit drawn off, and I said, let's see if the stats were in. Well, they were. 13 threes they hit last night. They had 3 players in double figures. Yeah. And when you get 3 players from a team like Morgan in double figures, one over 20, the other 2 pushing close to 20, that's when things are really running through the way they want them to. East Carter really struggled getting the ball through the hoop last night, and that's the difference between when you put Morgan and Ashland together. You've got players that can combat each other. They counter each other. Kent, when you look at Ashland, it all starts with Xander Carter, but obviously you've got DeBoard, you've got Conway, you've got Asher Atkins, Tristan Davis. Ryan Bonner's got a lot of grouping there. The depth maybe not as quite as deep as what we've seen in some previous Ashland teams, though.
And Ryan knows what he has with the race DeBoard. He knows what DeBoard's going to give in to him each night. Then you've got I think they've got really good guard play. You go back to the Morgan County guys, the 3 that are there now. They've been playing since they were 4th or 5th grade at a backyard somewhere in Sandy Hook. But I think I agree with everybody. I think it's going to be a run and gun game. A toss-up right now, maybe who you pick, but I think Ashland will be ready to go. You get back at switching gears with Lewis County, Coach, they've got to be pumped after what they did last night on their home floor.
Yeah, you get that blue crew going,
yeah,
guys. I mean,
I've
seen it happen.
And they'll bring a good crowd.
Oh, absolutely.
They always do.
Bath County with them. That game back in EKC exciting, and even though Lewis County didn't have Jerky, still I think Bath County's going to be playing. They're playing better, and then boys, team to watch I think is Fleming County.
Yeah, I do
you
too.
could possibly have in the semifinals Buddy Biggs taking on his former team, the Ashland Tomcats, in the semifinals, and that'll be played up a lot, and it could very well happen. Not to take anything away from Russell, But Fleming County's pretty darn good.
Well, and here's something, too. This is a big conversation piece. You know, a lot of people, when I started ranking the teams there toward the end of the year, a lot of people were getting on me because they're saying I ranked Russell too high. Well, then I had them ranked first after they were in that big winning streak, and then they lost. And everybody's like, there you go. Well, they haven't beaten anybody. Well, they're going to get a chance to really answer their worst loss of the year because that was the Fleming County. Now, Derek talked about that. That was on the 5th game in 7 days coming out of the EKC tournament. What can they do? How much can they bounce back after what they took last night? Because every time that they delivered a punch, Lewis County countered, and they never found the answer down the stretch.
Yeah, and you're talking about that game. That game was at Fleming County, too, guys. Tough place
to
play.
play.
Long trip, too.
Long trip.
The biggest difference with Fleming County is the Fry kid to me. Early in the year, he's averaging 13, 14 rebounds a game, but he's scoring 6 or 7. Now he's averaging 13, 14 rebounds a game, but he's scoring 15, 16, 17. Big difference, and he's a physical player. That's something they didn't have last year, a physical presence.
Spencer, that Boyd County East Carter game, which is the last game of the boys bracket, you know, Boyd County is going to be a heavy favorite in that, although East Carter has had a great year. They have played really good basketball. Really surprised at the district championship game, though. Really shocked me at the score. Not necessarily that they got beat, but the score.
Especially after they paired for that twice and for the district seeding game.
Yeah, and so that really shocked me. And now they got to take on probably the team that's playing the best right now of all these teams. I mean, they beat Ashland back-to-back times, okay? So, and Ashland's the, 4-time defending champ. So there is no way in the world you can look at the boys and say that anybody right now is playing any better than Boyd County.
And you're right. And you said, you know, that score kind of shocked you. Well, it didn't if you saw the halftime stats. East Carter 15 turnovers in the first half. Yeah. And then, you know, James said just a minute ago they had, 12 or 13
threes.
13 threes. I mean, you can't win that way. I don't care who you're playing. You know, it doesn't matter.
Especially when an empty trip is turning into a three on the other end.
And a lot of those turnovers, the ball never even crossed half court.
Yeah. But Ashland's going to jack it up from 3 too.
They are. But I think that you know,
I mean, Boyd is.
But Morgan County probably had their best shooting night last night than they had all season. You know, and I'm not saying they can't do that again. I'm just saying to have a good shooting night, why not have it in the district tournament championship?
13 of 27 from beyond the arc last night for the Cougars. I mean, that's a pretty good night.
And those were contested threes. You know, these were not just, wide open. You know, sometimes you see a busted coverage or defensive lapse. No, these were hands in the face, step back threes.
We know by watching high school basketball, college basketball for many, many years, if you're on with the three, you can beat just about anybody.
Absolutely.
Okay? If you're off, you're done.
Yeah. You live by the three, you die by the three.
You might as well just go home because if you're not making them.
Coach, you said something about that on the way over this morning.
Well,
I mean, you do.
In that game, I think Morgan's going to have to be in double figures in threes to have a chance to win the game myself. When you factor in everything else.
And I think the East Carter Boyd game, East Carter's going to have to play without turning the ball over, like Spencer. I mean, and Ashland's going to. Boyd's going to make it tough on them. They're going to have to really play hard, and that's an interesting because they didn't play each other, did they?
Yeah. No, they were supposed to play there at the end of the year, and it got the rain out. All the issues caused that game to get, and they couldn't find a reschedule.
Well,
yeah,
and you know this is Cole's second year as head coach, guys. He gets Ashland first round last year, the hottest team going in. He gets Boyd County this year, the hottest team probably going in. So he's not very good at drawing. Somebody's not.
Well, it's Brandon Baker's. Yeah. Now, Coach, I think you would agree with this too. This is a game that Cole would be happily content 45, 48, really slow the pace of this game down. Boyd County wants to see it up in the 80s. And then when you've got, you've got Cole Hicks and Jacob Spurlock, Griffin Taylor, Jason Ellis, Rhett Holbrook. I can continue to go on and on. These guys, they're not as deep as what you would typically think of a Randy Anderson bench, but when they come off the bench, the production doesn't slow down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Boyd County plays really, really good defense. They always have. They played good defense when Coach Zorns was there.
Yeah.
And it's just trickled down now to Randy.
I got to throw a quick shout out to my boy out of Boyd County, Rhett Holbrook. Jellyfish Stingray, my man. You heard it here. Okay. All right, let's take a break. When we return, we're going to dive into the brackets and make our picks as we continue here on the 16th Region Boys and Girls Basketball Preview Show, powered by Clark's Pump and Shop on the Cool Hit Sports.
Home is where you hang your hat. And if you're looking for a newer, nicer home to hang your hat in, talk to the Commercial Bank of Grayson. You'll like our selection of fixed and adjustable rate mortgages and competitive rates. We also offer construction loans, auto loans, online and mobile banking, and many other services. Commercial Bank of Grayson, Grayson and Olive Hill, here for you for 125 years and counting. And you can hang your hat on that. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What do you look for in a pharmacy? Healthy Way Pharmacy always takes care of any prescription needs, but also has a wide variety of home medical equipment complete with delivery service. At Healthy Way, the wait is always shorter and the prices are usually less. Call 928-1001 for any questions. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday from 9 to 1. Healthy Way Pharmacy and Home Medical Supply, US 60 Cannonsburg, next to the KDMC Outreach Center and in Sandy Hook.
Primary Plus is celebrating 40 years of its mission of quality, advanced, affordable health care. With over 11 primary care locations throughout the region, Primary Plus believes in our communities and our patients. The Primary Plus name means primary care plus so much more, offering extended services such as women's health, pediatrics, dental, counseling, diabetes management, infusion services, and on-site pharmacy that offers free delivery. Primary Plus believes in connecting health care for you and your family and is always welcoming new patients. Learn more at primaryplus.net.
When you need to say happy birthday, get well, thinking of you, or any other special occasion, say it with flowers from Fields Flower Shop in Ashland and Grayson. Fields Flower Shop can also take care of your sympathy needs, and they carry a nice selection of silk flowers, balloons, and fruit baskets. And they have provided quality service since 1920. Call 606-324-2184. That's 606-324-2184. Fields Flower Shop in Ashland and Grayson.
Good eating awaits you at the Hog's Trough Barbecue Restaurant and Bar in Grayson, featuring slow smoked chopped barbecue pork, brisket, chicken, beef, and more. Hog's Trough, 1051 North State Route 7, Grayson. Call 606-474-PORK.
The Tri-State's best gun and ammunition store. The best fishing and archery departments in the Tri-State. The largest selection of Benchmade and case knives. And the largest selection of Liberty safes anywhere. And the area's largest turkey shotgun selection. Get ready for turkey and fishing season at Borders Sporting Goods, the best sporting goods shop around. US 60 West, Ashland.
I'm April Perry, the CEO of Kentucky Farmers Bank. On average, our employees have been with Kentucky Farmers Bank for over 10 years, and that is important to you and us. We want you to know who you are dealing with. Whether you are financing a new home, buying a car, or remodeling your kitchen, Kentucky Farmers Bank is the better bank for all your needs.
Kentucky Farmers Bank, the better bank for all your financial needs since 1931. Located in Ashland, Summit, and Catlettsburg. KentuckyFarmersBank.com. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Back here at Morehead State University, the Boys and Girls 16th Region Tournament Preview Show powered by Clark's Pump and Shop. James Collier, Coach Hager, Easterling, Kent Robinson, Spencer Hutchison, Spencer Atkins.
Just got the weather.
I'll give you some weather.
Is it still raining
Is it still
outside?
raining outside? Jeez, oh, Pete. Listen, I'm running on about 3 hours sleep. Give me a break, okay? Hey, real quickly, I do want to give a shout-out. Dave Anderson, he's at the house. He's painting his future baby room, and he's got us tuned in. He sent me a picture. They're putting it up. But, Coach, we talked about the officiating throughout the week. Davey, Gavin, Roy was up there most of the week. So talking about the officiating real quick before we get in the brackets, 15th region coming to the 16th, 16th going to the 15th, and you know what you get from the 15th. You better pack a love wrench in the paint because it's going to be a war.
Well, you're right. And you guys, we were talking about that just a few minutes ago. They're going to let you play really physical.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden they pop up and there'll be a call that comes out of nowhere that you say, what happened on that?
Yeah.
You know, so you just got to play. You can't think about it as players. You just got to play.
All right, guys, let's jump into the bracket. Let's make our picks. We'll start first on the girls' side. These are Monday games. We start first at 6:30, Rowan County, Ashland, Russell at Elliott at 8 p.m. Jim, I'll start with you, top of the bracket.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, anytime. You're the GM, so I'm going to go to the big guy.
You sign our checks.
Could have went the other way, you know.
Yeah.
I just think that first game is such a toss-up. I'm going to go with Rowan County in a close one. I just think that Haven will get the help she needs, and she's going to be hard to control on the big floor, and they're going to have a lot of people in the stands because the boys aren't here, so they're going to really back the girls. So, yeah, it could be Ashland. I mean, we've talked about the art, but if you got to make a pick, I'm going to go with Rowan County.
Coach?
Yeah, I think on any given night, any four of those teams that we're talking about could beat the other one. But I'm also going to go with Round. Ashland knocked them out last year in a game I really thought Round County should have won.
Yes.
I don't think Haven Ford's going to let that happen this year. I'll go with Round County.
I'm going to go the other side. I'm going to go Ashland with this one. I think Katie Chandler, her ability to go deep into this basketball game, how much that's going to be. I also like Kinley Woods on the big floor. That gives her a little bit more spacing to get to the lane. Ella Sellers to really hit those long range. And Jaden Goley down underneath. She's a physical power for Ashland. I like the Kittens here.
I'm going to go with Rowan County, Russell, Fleming, and Boyd County.
Wow. Kent just said, I'll just give them all.
Through there on us.
He said, I don't need the first
Let
game.
me write that down. I'm going to pick everything he picked.
We got to take turns. Kent said, heck with the turn.
So should I just pull the Kent and just go straight down the line?
Well, no, you got the headset now.
I don't even have to give it back.
All right.
I think the Kittens are just too much. And what Ford's done at Rowan County, guys, that you don't get much better than what she's done. I mean, and she got, Kelly Ford's got a daughter coming through who's going to be pretty good too.
Absolutely.
So I mean, Rowan County, phenomenal team. A little bit inconsistent. James said earlier that Russell lost to Rowan County the first time they played, and then Russell beats them by 30. That's the inconsistency you see sometimes from them. I got to see them not that long ago down at East Carter. Listen, Ford, I think she's committed to play at Murray State.
Yes,
she's every bit as advertised. Very, very great player. Kittens too much. Ashland.
All right, back through on the bottom side of the bracket there with Russell Elliott. I've got Russell cruising through this one. I think that Mandy Lane's group's just way too talented for the Lions.
I agree with the same sentiment. Do want to say congratulations to Elliott County, though, and Coach Roy Witt. First time in the regional tournament since 2009, guys. He's had a good year with those kids.
Absolutely. Jim?
Absolutely. Congratulations to him, but not a good draw for him.
No.
And, they were going to have to draw somebody really good, and they drew Russell, and I'm going with Russell.
All right, bottom half of the bracket, Morgan County, Fleming County. I think this is a very intriguing first-round matchup. Boyd County and Lewis and the 8 p.m. game. Jim, we'll start with you, Morgan and Fleming.
I'm going to go with Morgan County. I think they've had a pretty good year, and even though they've been a little inconsistent too, and Fleming, as Hager said a little while ago, was really playing better. I still like Morgan County in this. They'll bring a ton of people. I mean, there'll be a lot of blue.
Super well.
There'll be a lot of blue and gold. I think it's going to be a very close game, but I'm going to go with Morgan.
Coach?
Yeah, we talk about Round Ashland being a good game. I'm like Jim. I think this could also be a really good game in the first round. Morgan, at one point there late in the year, they lost 7 straight, guys, and Fleming is on the uptick, I think. Brad Cox, a lot of success at Mason County down in the 10th region. I'm going to go with Fleming in that game.
Spencer?
I'm going with Morgan, Miss 2000, Hampton. I got to see her in person. She's a real deal.
Yeah,
you know when you see talent, you know it. So I go with Morgan. I'm gonna go ahead and do my picks. I'm gonna give him back the headset.
Well, he's already done it. You don't have to.
Why did you put me on the spot?
Yeah,
I was gonna try to. He was my outlet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Morgan.
I'm going to go Morgan here in a very tight basketball game. I like Jenna Hampton. I really like what Derek Young is doing up there. I hope he shows up in the Hawaiian shirt. I mean,
he does.
That is his signature outlet there in the tournament. All right, Boyd County, Lewis, Spencer.
Boyd. That's all I'm going to say. Boyd. Pete Fraley. Too much. Boyd.
I go Boyd on this one as well. I think that there's some good matchups. I think it's a close ball game through halftime, but I think Boyd's just too strong.
Do we have a lone wolf thing like I do on NFL picks? I was the only guy that picked Fleming in that game, so I need a lone wolf holler at the DL or something. Yeah, that was good. I'll go with Boyd also. I think the only chance Lewis County has to win this game is tempo. Walk it up and down the floor, pound it inside, like you said, to Weddington. She's a terrific player. Boyd County, though.
I'm going with Boyd County. I agree with Hager. The only chance they have is to slow down the game. I think maybe against somebody else you might be able to do it, but not against a coach like Pete Fraley. It's not going to happen.
Real quick, before we get into the Final Four, I want to do a big shout-out to Jack Likens, Josh Hughes, Scott Tackett, and Jay Fight. A phenomenal event they put on up in Vanceburg this past week for the 63rd tournament. First time since 1984 they had a district tournament in the Little Gym. They call it the Jungle for a reason, and that place was electric. But phenomenal job by them. All right, guys, let's go to the semifinals now. This will play on Friday at 6:30 and 8. Jim, who do you got?
I've got Rowan County and Russell playing, right?
Yes.
Those were my picks, and I'm going to go with another tough one.
No, absolutely.
Another tough one. I'm going to go with Russell. I think they're going to have a much easier contest. I think Ashland will give Round everything they've got, and they might be a little bit worn out, even though they get some days off. It's still going to be tough, and I think Russell's playing pretty good right now, so I'm going to go with Russell.
Coach?
Man, it is tough. I've got the same matchup that Jim had. I've got Round and Russell in the semis. This is going to be a terrific game. Somebody told I watched a little bit of the game, the Lewis and Russell game, and then I had people tell me down there last night that that's the best defensive team they've seen all year Russell played. But the thing about that is, Russell, you have to play defense like they play. You have to be really focused and tuned in, and I think they will. Guys, the last 7 regional championships have been won by Russell and Boyd County. 4 for Boyd, 3 for Russell. I'm going to go Russell. That game might even go overtime. I'm going to go Russell in that game.
I, too, will take Russell in that. I think that the Red Devils are really coming on as of late. That defense I saw in the championship game Thursday night reminded me of Mandy's team in 20 and 21 when they went back-to-back in the region. Those teams are really, really special. And when you get somebody like a Bella Quinn that's becoming an additional threat, she had the first 10 points in that basketball game against Lewis the other night, finished with 16. And when she gets going, that opens up Shaylin Steele. But the other pieces of the puzzle, you've got Josie Atkins that's been really big down low. Kennedy Darnell and Hannah Sanders have really grown up this year. Gabby Oborn, Mia Atkins, Courtney Fitzpatrick, all players have been coming in off the bench. I like Russell in this game.
Chandler's back is scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spencer?
I got Russell defeating Ashland, though. I had Ashland winning the first game. But I'm going to go ahead and pick my other semifinal. I think Boyd's just way too much for Morgan. I had Morgan moved on in. And like Coach Hager said, the last 7 have been won by Russell or Boyd County. Make it 8 because they're going to meet in the finals again.
Kenner, who did you have here?
I'm going to go with producer hands me my headset. Well, first off, you've got 2 really good players in the 16th region, Haven and Shaylin.
Absolutely.
You know, they're going to get their points whether you put 7 people guarding you. I kind of go with Mr. Collier. Russell's defense showed me something the other night against Lewis County, and I think it's going to be a really good ball game, but I'm going to give the edge to Russell.
All right, so on the bottom half, Morgan and Boyd.
I'm going to go with Boyd County. I think it's just too strong, too much Jasmine Jordan, too much Taylor. We're getting Biggs back really helped Coach Fraley. If she maybe wouldn't have come back, it might have changed things. But you've got 2 tall timbers in there that can get the rebound. You can throw it into them. I think a little advantage to them just because they have the height in Jasmine and Audrey.
All right,
so
well,
I'm going to go with Boyd County.
While you've got the headset, let's go ahead and do your championship picks. Who you got in the championship?
I think it's going to be Russell and Boyd. And I'll go with Boyd County.
Boyd County. All right, Jim.
Boyd County in the bottom semifinal game, no doubt about it. And then I've got Boyd playing Russell, and I think Russell's playing really good, like I said a moment ago, and I think their defense is very good. I don't know if they can sustain that for 3 games against 2 really good teams that they'll have to play. They've got a better shot of it than either Round or Ashland did up there. But since I've got Russell out there playing Boyd, I think that's would be a heck of a championship game. And I think Boyd County wins a close one.
Coach?
Yeah, I've got Boyd beating Fleming in my half the bracket. Only got to pick Fleming out there. Remember that, you fans down in Fleming County.
I'm going to mark it.
Yeah, put the lone wolf on that one.
I've got Boyd moving on out to the championship, and I just think the Round County Russell game is going to take too much out of Russell to have to play Friday and come right back and play Boyd Saturday night, who's going to be rested. I'm going to go with Boyd as the champion.
Well, I said this last night when we were talking. I said if the bracket falls out this way to where one of the 3 of the 4 get in one half of the bracket and the other one's on the bottom, that one that gets in the bottom is going to be your region champion. I've got Boyd and Russell in the championship, and I got Boyd as the champion. Spencer?
I got Boyd and Russell also, but I'm going to go against you guys. I think the Lady Devils get it done. I think Mandy Lane brings it back to – but you know what? James said something interesting. You said back in 20, they were getting ready to cancel the tournament.
Yeah.
So, when there used to be a Big East and Syracuse had McNamara. They were one of the worst teams all season. They won 5 straight games and won the Big East tournament. I'm telling you, give me Russell, Lady Devils.
There you heard it.
I agree, guys. Those 4 teams are so close, it wouldn't surprise me any of the 4 win.
Any 4 of them.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Not
All right.
surprise any of us.
Boys, the girls will start on Monday and Tuesday, 6:30 and 8, and then the semifinals on Friday at 6:30 and 8. The girls' championship Saturday, March 4th at 7 p.m., and you can catch all the action from tip to the nets coming down right here on the Cool Hit Sports Network. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the boys' bracket, make our picks as we continue here on the Boys and Girls 16th Region Basketball Preview Show, powered by Clark's Pump and Shop on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Stop wishing you were debt-free. Start consolidating. Members Choice Credit Union is committed to helping you take control of your finances this new year. And all it takes is a personal loan. Imagine one monthly payment at a great interest rate. Stop worrying about debt. Start taking control of your finances. Consolidate your debt today with the help of your credit union family at Members Choice. Visit us online at mccu.net.
The Greenup County Public Library system is the best. Read the latest bestsellers in large print, regular print, or audio CDs. You can also check out movies or place a hold on a book on our website or call one of the library locations to place a hold. There are community meeting rooms available by reservation at all locations for clubs and organizations. And be sure to check out the Jesse Stewart collection at the Greenup County branch. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter. Your Country Chevrolet in Grayson needs your vehicle. We're low on inventory and prepared to make you an offer on the spot to buy your car, even if you don't buy one of ours. Literally within 10 minutes of coming in, we'll have you a cash offer. Have a payoff on it? No problem. We'll pay that loan off and write you a check for the balance. Just bring your title, driver's license, all your keys, and most recent payment statement so we can get the payoff. We'll even drive you home if you need. Your Country Chevrolet, ready to buy. Let us put cash in your pocket. Visit us online, purecountrychevrolet.com, or call us 606-474-5116. Pure Country Chevrolet, find new roads.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road Greenup has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's prices. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup at 473-0411 for a free estimate. A call to 473-0411 can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
Wouldn't it be nice to start your day with a homemade breakfast and a freshly ground whole bean roasted cup of coffee? Well, at Tudor's Biscuit World, every day starts with freshly cracked eggs, sizzling bacon and sausage. And you can't forget the mouth-watering made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits hot from the oven. Whether you're spending it with us or taking it to go, mornings always sound this great at Tudor's. Sounds great, tastes better. Tudor's Biscuit World.
At First and Peoples Bank and Trust, we're not only your home office, we're your hometown bank. We're your friends, your neighbors, even your relatives.
Good morning and welcome to First and Peoples Bank. How can I help you? I'd like to cash a check today. Thank you. You have yourself a great day.
Come see us at First and Peoples Bank and Trust, where we'll treat you just like a friend. Whether you're buying your first house, your second house, or financing a new car, come see us at First and Peoples Bank and Trust.
For those on the go, the smoothie connoisseur, the break room favorite, and for those that just never quite have it all, Clark's has what you need to keep your day on track. Make life easier and keep your busy schedule moving forward with everything you need at Clark's. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Back here in the Boys and Girls 16th Region Basketball Tournament Preview Show, powered by Clark's Pump and Shop. Let's get into the boys' brackets. We'll start with the Monday games. These will play at 6 and 8 p.m. Morgan County, Ashland, Fleming County, Russell. Thursday night, 6:30 and 8, Lewis County, Bath, Boyd County, East. Kent, I'll start with you this time. Morgan County, Ashland, Fleming County, Russell.
I think Ashland always plays well when they come to Moorhead because they've been here the last 4 years. Morgan County, it's hit and miss sometimes with them because you've got the Elliots, the East, the West that come. But I think I give the edge to Ashland just because they have been here before.
Four-time defending champ.
The
First shot, it's really tough on him. I'll go with Ashland in that game. And I'm going to go with Fleming also against Russell. We can't be denied Buddy against Ashland, can we? We got to see that in the regional tournament, don't we, guys? So Fleming gets a lot of easy baskets in transition. A lot of times, whichever team gets the most easy baskets wins the game. I think Fleming that game.
Spencer?
I think Russell's going to come into that game with a chip on their shoulder. If you ask Coach Derek Cooks, he may have said it to you when you were doing – he said, guys, that's the worst game we played all year. I think that's a little bit more motivation. Yes, Russell's kind of coming into the gas station on fumes, man. They really just haven't looked like the same team that you saw in midseason. I think Russell wins. I think Ashland wins. I think that you see a Russell-Ashland semifinal.
I've got Ashland Fleming here. I think it's the Buddy Biggs against his old team once again.
Yeah.
They've won 10 straight, 13 of their last 14. The Hickerson kid, he is as advertised. Mm-hmm. And I think, you guys brought it up. You don't see a lot of them because of where they are geographically up in the 61st. But Buddy Biggs, his team's pretty solid, 22-8. This is going to be an intriguing matchup because, again, they beat Russell by 20 when they played back in December. So we'll see how this one plays out. All right, let's go to the bottom half of the bracket. Lewis County and Bath, Boyd County and East. These games will play on Thursday at 6 and 8 p.m. Kenner, I'll start with you.
I've not got to see Bath County this year because I was, on the other end. But I just think the way, Lewis County played last night, Jerky is on fire offensively and defensively. He can take over the game anytime. You said that last night. I think Lewis County has a couple days to rest, more than a couple days. I'm going to go with Lewis County. And then, I love the folks in Grayson and Coach Baker and Cole Brammer, but I've got to go with Boyd County. I think it's just too much power.
Wait a second. You picked Fleming County first, and you changed it.
No. I picked Fleming County in the girls' game.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Anarchy over here.
Yeah.
All right, Jim, who you got the bottom half?
I'm going with Bath County over Lewis County, not to take anything away from Lewis County. That was a very inspiring game they played in the championship, and they came out hot. But they won't have the same atmosphere at Johnson Arena. They'll have a lot of people, but it ain't the same atmosphere as it is at Lewis County, okay? It's a little bit back from you and everything. And Bath County's got a really good player. I mean, they've got several players, but they got a really good player, and it's going to be hard to stop. And he proved that last year. They almost beat Ashland. So I'm going to pick Bath County. And then as good a season as East Carter's had, Boyd County right now is, I think, the hottest team in this field by far. And it'll be Boyd County against Bath County in the semifinals.
Coach?
I'm going to go with Lewis. I think they've got the momentum going a little bit now. A lot of people, we talk about Jerky, we talk about him taking over the game offensively, but he plays really good defense too, guys. And I think you're going to see Jerky on Otis a lot of that game as long as there's not foul trouble. That's going to be a close game. Scott's really good at scheming, maybe making it tough on Otis to get some good looks. And then the Boyd County East Carter game. East Carter they've had a good year. I think Jim mentioned that, and you did too, James. They've had a good year, 19-9 or something like that coming in. But with this game, Boyd County, for me, it's just, I would call it TMW, too many weapons, because they're consistently putting 4 guys in double figures every game.
I go with Lewis and Boyd on the bottom half. Lewis, it was a 56-51 loss to Bath County back in the EKC tournament. That was game number 3. Lewis started the season 3-8. Those games were without Trey Jerky. And Zach Otis has been really solid, and he's going to go out and he's going to get his. But there's some other pieces that's really starting to round out for Lewis. Xavier Prater had a great tournament. Caden Box came on. Drew Noble, he's one of the best big men in the 16th region. I like Lewis this one in a tight basketball game. And then, Coach, you hit it there. Just too many weapons. If East can find a way to grind this one out and really limit some possessions, that puts this game within reach. But I think Boyd, just Cole Hicks, Jacob Spurlock, those are, right there's just 2 punches. That's just so hard to take. I like Boyd here. All right, let's move into our championship game picks. Spencer, I'll start with you. Who you got in the championship and your champion?
Well, in the semifinals, I had Ashland playing Russell. I think Ashland just too much. They move on. I had Lewis County defeating Bath County. I had Boyd. As much as I love East Carter, God, I love the city of Grayson. I love that school. But Boyd County, like Jim said, hottest team in the region right now, and that's just a really bad draw. It's 2 years in a row. Cole's gotten bad draws,
Yes.
man.
Ashland
he drew
Boyd.
Ashland last year, now you got Boyd this year. It is what it is. I'm not saying that's not, East Carter can make that game close, but I think, like what Jim said, Boyd County's on fire right now.
Yeah.
So either way, but I do have Boyd County winning the region. I think Ashland Boyd region title. I think once Boyd County got over that hump, once they seen the scoreboard final into the game that they'd actually beaten Ashland, that changed their whole team. And I think that they're going to continue that momentum, and I think it takes them all the way to Rupp Arena.
Jim?
Let's see. I had Ashland playing Fleming in the Buddy Biggs reunion tour, and I think Ashland beats them. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a really good game, but I think Ashland gets back to the championship game to try and win their 5th straight. I've got Bath County. I'm the lone wolf in that one, boys, so mark that down. I've got Bath County playing Boyd County. And thank you. I've got Bath County playing Boyd County, and even though Bath gave Ashland everything they wanted last year and almost knocked them out, I think they'll give Boyd a good game for a while, but I think Boyd will make it to the championship game, and I think it's Ashland and Boyd playing for the championship game, and this time, though, I think it's Boyd County who comes out on top.
Coach E?
Yeah, you guys mentioned it earlier, and we talked to Coach Bonner about this. As long as Ashland is not looking at the championship game the night they play Fleming, I think they win this game. But this is going to be a fun game to watch because it's going to be up and down track meet, man. Take it out. It don't matter if the other team scores. The other team's going to take it out, and they're running it back at you. But the thing about the problem with that Fleming County is going to have, Ashland is better at what they do because they both do the same thing. So I'm going to go with Ashland. In a really fun game to watch. This game might end up, 100 to 90. I don't know.
Good.
Yeah. And,
First one to 90 wins.
Yeah.
Keep the water cooler full.
Yes. Boyd and Lewis, I think Boyd will come through with that one. They just have too many ways well right now, and their momentum, their confidence. They beat Ashland twice. They're just on a roll, and I'm gonna go with Boyd over Ashland in the finals. Ashland's got a chance to win 5 straight, which the last team to do that was Ashland from 77 to 81. Before that, you have to go back to the 50s. I think Boyd is going to come back, and I think they'll take the trophy home Saturday night or Tuesday night.
Kenner?
Ashland will beat Russell. I've got Boyd County moving on over Lewis County. And, I'm a Ashland grad, but I just think Boyd County's the better team. They've beaten them twice. I think they'll get them again in the championship game. I'll go with Boyd County to win the championship.
All right, I've got Ashland over Fleming and Boyd County over Lewis. And for the first time since 2019, we're going to get somebody other than Ashland as the region champ. I think Boyd pulls this one out. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a really, really high-intensity game of the style that's going to be played. And, again, it's going to be raining threes from Johnson Arena.
Do you realize that Randy Anderson right now hates us?
Oh, absolutely.
Because every one of us sitting here picked this team to win it.
Yeah.
He hates us.
That's okay.
And, in all 3 games those 2 teams have played, guys, the winning team has had a 17, 18-point lead in all 3 games.
Yes.
And the other team has come back and tightened
pulled
it up
up.
at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, don't expect this one to get separated by more than a couple possessions along the way.
But the thing that's been said all along is, especially when Ashland beat Boyd in the first time they met this year, is that everybody says, what a great rivalry this is. And some people would say it's not a rivalry because Boyd hasn't beaten Ashland in a long time. Yeah. But Boyd then beat them. And then they came back and beat them again for the district championship. It's a rivalry now.
It is again. Yeah, it's back. So
it's back.
All right, that's going to wrap us up here real quickly. Let's throw the brackets back up one more time so you can see those. We'll start with the girls again Monday and Tuesday. As Rowan County, Ashland, Russell, Elliott on Monday. On Tuesday, it's Morgan, Fleming, Boyd, and Lewis. All those games at 6:30 and 8 p.m.
Pre-game at 5:40.
5:40 for our pregame
game changer.
And then on the boys' side, on Wednesday and Thursday, Morgan County, Ashland, Fleming, and Russell. That's on Wednesday. Then Lewis, Bath, Boyd, East on Thursday. You can hear and see everything from tip until the Nets come down at LST Johnson Arena right here on the Cool Hit Sports Network. Gentlemen, it was a blast. It's hard to believe